Yeah, we. You are watching 32 teams in 32 days on the Game Time Sports Network. It's a great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. It's Game Time 365 Sports right here on the GTSN. That's the Game Time Sports Network. We're pulling a double one today. We got the co-founder of the LegacyMaker Sports Network. We had the other founder back when we talked to the Packers, but now we in the other Bay team, Mr. Jay Quimby. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on, man.
Mom, back again, man.
Yeah, man. This we doing a double duty today, man. I ain't know how I felt about this, but we had one scheduled for tomorrow, but it said live, so we went on to do what we do best. So, yeah, man, I'm excited about the Buccaneers, man, to get another perspective of Baker Mayfield and company down there. So, man, this should be a good
one. Jay, your team ended the season 10-7, 4-2 in the division. They started the season 4-6, hit the bye week 6-1 in the last 7 games, losing to the Commanders 23-20 in the wild card round. Talk about how last year, we're going to go back, how last year went for you as a fan.
For me, it was a roller coaster because, we had a good team, I thought, because, we beat the Lions and the Eagles during the regular season. And then the Commanders did what they normally do, and they snuck one out on us. I just hope this year that Jaden Daniels repeats what he did, and he is the real deal, because they need that up there. But, I tagged you in a video earlier, Larry, about Baker.
I saw that. I meant to comment back.
Because Baker's thrown, 69 touchdowns in his 2 years, and that's the most in the NFL. So, and then you give him another wide receiver, and, I'm worried, but I'm pumped for this season.
The Baker Mayfield turnaround is just tremendous. He started out in Cleveland, of course, and was the number 1 overall pick and got let go there, and then went to Carolina, I believe. Had a run in the Rams organization. Played pretty solid, but you would think it's over. But then he gets over to Tampa Bay and it just has a whole complete turnaround. Last year, he threw for 4,500 yards, exact 41 touchdowns and 16 interceptions. I think Joe Burrow was the only quarterback to maybe pass more than him, was 43, I want to say.
It could be. And maybe why they got paid like it's a Madden team. There's just wide receivers and quarterbacks.
What's your thoughts on this Baker Mayfield turnaround? I want to hear from both.
It makes you really realize how toxic Cleveland is. Because if you look at the stuff that's happened to Johnny Manziel after he left and why he was there, yes, the guy was a big partier, but he was not getting the support he needed. And the fact they go through OCs and head coaches like most people go through TP, it's crazy. So, yeah. And that was one of the things that really, I think, helped him transition to the Buccaneers was we brought Cohen from the Rams where he was at the year before. So he already knew the playbook because he literally learned it on the fly to play his first start there. And he was comfortable with it once he got to Tampa. So it worked out great. And I'm still salty about the way that stuff worked out with that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Oh, you want to go ahead? All right.
Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead.
man. The Baker Mayfield saga has been one, like I said, a wild ride. Back to his Cleveland days. Jay, as you know, nobody. I think it was the week. I'm not. Maybe going a little deep here, but I think it was the week before the draft of 2018. Nobody had Baker Mayfield as #1 overall pick, and then you start getting into the sports books. You're like, wait a minute, why is he in the got odds to be the #1 overall pick? Somebody Vegas knows something we don't know, and then of course he tweeted out the picture of him with the classic Brett Favre picture of him on the phone, and we know he's going to be #1 overall pick. But Cleveland was toxic. Yes, he had some good moments in Cleveland. I think he took him to the playoff his rookie year, if I'm not mistaken. If not his second year, correct me if I'm wrong, Larry and Jay.
You're right.
Year two.
Second year, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's when they played the Chiefs. I can't remember. It's been a while, but nevertheless,
They had a chance to win the game too, right?
Yeah. Nevertheless, then he moves on to Carolina, and he goes through that little turmoil with Carolina. It wasn't big stand, and then he goes to the Rams, and I vividly remember hating Baker Mayfield because he signed with the Rams like this Sunday before, because we played the Rams on a Thursday night, and he beat us. This is like the first year we had Devontae, or the second year we had Devontae Adams. And I'm sitting here like, this guy just came in the building on Monday morning. He's starting for the Rams on a Thursday night versus us, and he beats us. And I'm like, what are we doing as a Raiders fan? And then he goes on to Tampa Bay, and then he's had some success in Tampa Bay, man. I know they beat Philly in a wild card game a couple years ago, and I was like, okay, maybe he's found his home. And Jay, you know more than we do. Maybe this is his permanent home. But I always been a big Baker Mayfield guy. Coming out of Oklahoma, he had that swag. Him and CD Lamb and all those guys. So I think he's in a good spot now to where I think he might have a forever home. Not let something change. And he got paid like it. Maybe an off season or two ago, a nice old handsome. I think it was like $33 million a year. Jay.
Yep, he got his $100 million.
He got his $100 million.
It was nice to see somebody get paid and not fall off a cliff.
Absolutely, and think about it. You're coming in. I mean, I know Tom Brady and them, they won that Super Bowl in 2020, but you're coming in after the greatest quarterback of all time, and you got to live up to those expectations. Yeah, there might not be Super Bowls in year and out, but they've made the playoffs the last 4 years.
5 years.
5 years. So, hey, something's working down there with him in Tampa.
Absolutely. And coming in, we're celebrating our 50th year of existence. And it's just I go back and look at some of the players that were drafted by our franchise, but didn't do anything there. And you always got that what if in your head. Because, Steve Young, Bo Jackson, and it's just crazy. The talent that was there, but there was no coaching.
Hey, I see y'all upgraded the creamsicle uniforms.
I was about to say, Larry, they're a long way from the creamsicles, boy. Whew.
Oh, man, those things look sweet, man.
The new ones are sweet, and they were on sale for $21, and I was like,
Yeah, all I can think about when somebody say Tampa Bay Buccaneers, all I think about is the creamsicles back in the day and how bad they were. Now it's like Tampa Bay Buccaneers, those creamsicles. Like, okay, these jokers sweet. They got a legit football team now. So
now, mind you, I'm from Ohio, so my grandparents were snowbirds, so they bring me back crap from down there, and it was always Tampa Bay. So that's where I fell in love with them.
Understood.
They did the refurb, and I was like, oh yeah, that's my team.
There you go.
Okay. Talk about your head coach, Todd Bowles, entering his 4th year as Buccaneers head coach. One out of 118 total games. He spent 4 years at the New York Jets. Of course, his record was 53-65. Now he's 27-24 in 3 years at Tampa Bay. It hasn't always been pretty, but how do you like Todd Bowles as your head coach?
I don't hate Todd Bowles. I really think Byron Leftwich got the raw end of that because I wanted to see Leftwich get the head coaching position. because I really thought that he was the main key of that coaching staff after Bruce Arians decided to step down. And, we got Tom Moore, the oldest man in the world, still there as an advisor. So,
Yeah, like that 2020 run. Yes, I Jay, help me if I'm wrong. Bruce Arians called in plays then, and Byron Leftwich had the OC role, the OC label.
yes.
Help me if I'm wrong, but I personally thought after they won that Super Bowl and Byron having one of the greatest quarterback of all time in his ear, learning under Bruce Arians, I was like, okay, yeah, they're ushering in Byron Leftwich.
Absolutely.
I was like, this is perfect. And I don't know if he didn't get an interview or whatever the case may be, but I thought they mishandled that situation, not giving him an opportunity to at least see what he's capable of. Because yes, we know Bruce Arians was probably calling plays. I'm not sure, but
He was.
Byron Leftwich put in a lot of work too. Working with Tom Brady on a daily basis, and that's not nothing light. Tom liked Byron. You can see they had good rapport and talking on the sideline after drives. And I'm like, oh yeah, Bruce is definitely grooming him to be the head coach in waiting. I don't know what happened in that situation, but I do agree with you, Jay. I think they mishandled that situation. Like, no disrespect to Todd Bowles.
No, I agree.
He's been great. He's a great coordinator. Everybody knows what he does on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, him as a head coach, you said 53 and 63 there with the Jets, and then 27 and 24 with the Buccaneers. So he's a 500 head coach. He has some moments, but I really think I thought that team was going to take off offensively if Byron Leftwich had been promoted to head coach. I thought it was going to soar, but it fell through, and I don't know what happened with that situation. But
it just gets me because like you said, the Tom Brady in his ear really led, and then they drafted Kyle Trash
out of Florida.
Out of Florida.
Kyle Trash, yeah.
And I don't like him because I just don't like the way he reads defenses.
Did they draft him in the second or third round? He was a
second round pick,
man.
He was a second round pick. They had him labeled as a first round pick.
He was supposed to be the Tom Brady successor, right?
He was. And so when they brought in Baker, him and Baker actually fought in training camp for the starting position, if that tells you. I mean, there's talk now that the undrafted quarterback they brought in this year, and I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try, might unseat him for the second position.
Connor Basilek, or
yeah. That guy.
Speaking of that offense, so for 2 seasons that offense was struggling, and then all of a sudden, I think last year you guys kind of picked it up, but then this year you were only held under 20 points only once, and you know who that team was.
Okay, all right, that's fine.
So as far as rankings, overall, this offense was ranked 3rd in overall and in the past, 4th in the run game, which the last 2 years you guys didn't really have a run game, and we're about to get into this running back who the Broncos could have had, but hey,
they could have had him 3 times, by the way.
Man, damn it! And then in the pass game, you were ranked 29th. In the run defense, you were ranked 4th, and then overall 18th.
I was gonna say Bowles is a defense guy, but we're that lacking that far in defense. That don't make sense.
Let's talk about Bucky Urban, 1,122 yards and 8 touchdowns. He ran for 5.4 per. How are you loving Bucky Urban right now? Because I love him.
I think it's great because his running style and his attitude, and even his school he came from, reminds me of LeGarrette Blount. Because I mean, he came out and he's got that nasty streak. You hit him and he runs harder.
Think about what we could have had, man. We still got Rashad White back there, who's also great in the pass game. He had 6 touchdowns receiving last year, 613 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns, ran for 4.3 per. Mike Evans went for another 1,000-yard year, 11 straight. What receiver has done that?
Give that man if that man was to say, "Hey, I'm done
Jerry Rice.
right now," if he was to say, "I'm done playing right now," I think his gold jacket should be like his gold
Right.
jacket should be fitted for right now, like legit.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I agree.
Facts.
My wife
first ballot too.
roots
First ballot.
for players, and Mike Evans is her player. She likes Mike Evans. She wants us to bring back JPP, and I think that would be good because we need that veteran pass rusher because we got Braswell, sorry, and Diaby. I can never say that.
Yeah, Diaby.
And they need somebody to help. Not Barrett. I absolutely love the loaner. Thank you, Larry.
Kate Otten, I think he's going to a contract year. 59 catches, 600 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And then Chris Godwin getting hurt last year.
He just had his second surgery, and that's what put him on the pup.
Yeah,
They're hoping he'd be ready.
We're going to get to that in a second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Jalen McMillan, I think that was his second year he played last year.
It was his first year.
His first year, so he was a rookie. Okay.
Yep.
So 461 yards, 8 touchdowns. You figure he'd be one of those go-to targets going into this year. Going to the defensive side of the ball, real quick from last year.
Much on there.
Levante David led the team in tackles with 122. Zion McCullum with 82. And as far as sacks, you guys had 46 sacks as a team. Kalijah Cansey was the leading sack with 75. Was 7.5. Vita Vea had a career high in 7 sacks. That's unbelievable. And then Levante David with 5.5, as well as Logan Hall. I know your defense wasn't that great last year.
No.
What's your thoughts on that?
We got to get to the quarter. That's what makes Bulls defense work, is getting to the quarterback. But if you name tacklers, and a corner is one of our top tacklers, there's a concern there. Because they should never make it to that third level or even the second level. So, I mean, you got the big guys up front. Vita Vea is a beast. I've watched the New Heights podcast, and he was one of the names that Kelsey threw out why he retired, because he couldn't block. Got tired of blocking him.
You got anything to add to that, Amon?
No, man. And as Jay said, man, like the edge rushing group, there's I don't know how Jay feels. Everything. Vita Vea and Kalijah Cansey are probably your best 2 defensive linemen. And I know you had my guy, I can't think of, he has a weird name, Joel Shanko. I can't think of his name. I know he's not there anymore. I'm gonna pull it up.
Tryon Shoyinka.
I thought he was gonna be, I think he was a first round pick out of Washington a couple years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Joe Tryon.
I thought he would give you a little more than what he did, but obviously that wasn't.
That was a waste of a pick, like a Devin White.
I
mean,
yeah, Devin White. But yeah, man, I think that, like Jay said, if you can get to if you're making safeties and corners are making tackles at the second and third level, that means your defensive line as a whole, not saying Vita Vea or Kalijah Cansey, they're not doing, the job is not getting done. So I agree with Jay for sure.
Yeah, Cansey needs to be on the field more because he missed a lot of games because of injury. I think he missed 7 games last year, which, I know they're playing an extra game now, but still, that's too many to miss when you're a key cog in that machine.
First round pick, Kalijah Cansey as well. So
yeah. Key losses for this team was center Robert Hainsey, Shaq Barrett, who I believe retired. Did he retire?
He did. He retired and
And then
then
he
signed
came
with
back.
the Dolphins, and then come back to us. I really think the loss of his daughter played a lot into where his mindset was, because being a parent myself, no parent should ever have to bury a child ever.
Right.
And to go through that I mean, football becomes second after that. I'm sorry.
Sure, 1,000%.
You also lose out on William Golson, who's been there forever,
Oh God,
and
right? Michigan
uh,
State Spartan.
Joe Tryon, Shoyinka, and then Jordan Whitehead. Those are the guys that you lost out on. And then key additions. You get Hassan Reddick, who had 1 sack last year. He played 2 games. But I am going to say for the 4 years prior to that, he was a double-digit sack guy with 16, I want to say, in 2022. And what he had, 11 and 23. So I see you kind of shaking your head. How do you feel about the new addition with Hassan Reddick coming to the fold?
It's not what you did; it's what you're going to do. And he had his thing with the Jets, whatever. Throw your tantrums, be done. I need to see him. Like, I've been watching him in practice, and I talked to you earlier. I really like one of the rookies more than I like him. As far as
Mm.
he's got great. I like Reddick's. He can read gaps and stop the run. Like, if there's a pull, he can pull off of the pass rush and come back and stop the run. That this rookie, when I was watching him on tape in college, he bites every time. So besides that, if we could get 10 sacks from Reddick, I would say it's a win.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Uh, Go ahead.
yeah, yes. I'm just thinking about. I was before we went on air. I was thinking about the Hassan Reddick from 2023 when he was with Philly, where he just could not be blocked at all. I don't care what you did, double team, triple team. I was like,
he was on a mission.
what is going on? I'm like, Arizona, you let that walk out the door. Like, but he
It's Arizona.
it's Arizona. At that time, it was Arizona. But he wants his money. He wants his bag. I thought he should have got a nice, decent bag with the Jets. I don't know what happened there to where he couldn't. So ultimately, he ends up coming to free agent. He signs a Tampa for 1 year, $14 million. Hopefully, if he plays well, Jason Light can reward him on a long term extension. But that yet to be. We will see.
I will say the one thing that I've loved is our GM. His ability to manage cap space and work contracts is just amazing.
Yes, I will say, um, Jay, as you know, I'm a Raiders fan, and we stole John Spatek from you guys, Jason
Mm-hmm.
GM, last year. This is his first go around as being a full time GM in the league, and the way he's building our roster. Yes, our roster is not where you guys' roster is, but I see some similarities in what he did with you guys building that Super Bowl roster and what he's doing with us now by structuring contract. I'm not Larry. Don't laugh. I'm not saying we.
Oh no, I'm just
But the way he structured contracts, the way he does, he's not risking the future. But
right.
if there is something there that's going to make sense for the team, he's going to pull the trigger. So I will say I'm very, me just seeing Spatek doing what he's doing for the little time that he's in Vegas, all the knowledge he learned from Jason Light, being in Tampa for all those years, it's going. I think it's going to pay off dividends for us. And Tampa Bay is in a good hand, and I don't see Jason Light going anywhere no time soon for sure.
No, we just re-upped a contract with him and Bulls. So
Hey, there you go.
He's now going into his 12th season. He didn't win until his 7th season there. Look at the patience that,
well,
like,
that's what you do when you draft a kicker in the second round.
So yeah, like you said, look at the patience of the Glazer family. Patience, man. Because so Larry, if you look at this, I'm gonna tell you, patience sometimes is probably the best thing. Because if you go look at Howie Roseman's track record is when he was coming to GM, look at Philadelphia's records before they ultimately took off.
yeah, absolutely.
They weren't that great, and sometimes everybody wants to jump the gun and change regimes after 1 or 2 years instead of giving a general manager some time to create the roster with his vision. And obviously, you've seen with Tampa Bay, what happened with that. They gave he didn't start winning until year 7.
Yeah.
Look, now he has a Super Bowl ring under his belt, probably beating one of the greatest teams that we've ever seen, the Kansas City Chiefs, that year. So, I mean, patience sometimes pays off, when you're, making decisions and being GMs and assistant GMs in the league. So
I think the right owner plays a factor too, because being there 7 years and
You
you
don't
don't
want a
win.
Jerry Jones, is what you're saying.
Yeah, being there 7 years. Like, think about it. Most owners are giving up about year 2, 3.
3. Ask me. Trust me. I know. Let's ask this fellow right here. I can tell you all about it.
I'm not laughing at you because I know Tom Brady's there now, but that experiment where y'all had Gruden with God, I can't remember his name, as the GM.
Mike Mayock.
That was it. I mean,
Oh man,
I'm not going to say. Listen, all right. I know we're going off track here, and we're going, getting off the rails a little bit. But I'm not going to say it's. He did give us Josh Jacobs and Max Crosby. So
fair enough. Yeah, because he did. I went back and looked at that draft.
But yes, he drafted John Abram, Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, they didn't work at all.
Well, the pick before Max Crosby, we took a defensive end because we were right before you guys.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I just look at that and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, so everybody bag on Mike Mayock. He was a TV GM, but he did give us Max Crosby and Josh Jacobs out the deal.
He is a back end draft GM.
Yeah, he finds the diamonds. But
yep.
Go ahead.
Great job, Mike. Going to Jay, let's go into your draft picks here. And what draft pick to you stands out the most? In the first round, you picked the Mecca Ibuka, the wide receiver out of Ohio State. Pick 53 in the second round, you took cornerback Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. In the third round, pick 84, cornerback Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State. So back-to-back cornerbacks. Hopefully you can fix something there. And then in the fourth round, you took linebacker David Walker out of Central Arkansas. And the fifth round, pick 157, you took defensive end Elijah Roberts out of SMU. And in the seventh round, you took Tez Johnson, wide receiver from Oregon.
I can go all day on these, man. David Walker out of Central Arkansas. He was a sack machine down there. He has got great bend. He will get to the passer, whether he has the ball or not. I like that one because I think with a little, coaching and patience for him to grow, he will become one of the premier pass rushers in the South.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, go ahead, Jay. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was like David Walker, and I was thinking David Walker. Wasn't he like the conference name? He was like the defensive player of the year in that conference or whatever the case may be. I don't know what Central Arkansas. I don't know if they're Sun Belt. I'm not really sure, but he was the defensive player of the year or whatever the case may be. And actually, Larry and Jay, I don't know if you guys know this. The University of Arkansas and the SEC was trying to get him to come and transfer to play up another level. They actually wanted him, but he ended up staying at Central Arkansas and just dominating, his level of competition. What I ain't mad at. But David Walker, he's one of those sleeper pass rushers that they took in the middle rounds. That he's going to make their 53, I believe. He's going to contribute right away, fairly early, if not opening day.
And Roberts is another one because he was actually a 3-year, or I believe, 2 or 3 year starter at Miami before he moved to SMU. But at number 53, it hurts me because I'm a Ohio State fan. But Benjamin Morrison would have been a first rounder if he wouldn't have messed up his hips.
I love his tape.
He
His
just
2023 tape is amazing.
Yeah.
it is. He was definitely, if he'd come out in 23, he would have been a top 15 pick.
And then Jacob Parrish. I seen his tape as well. Not sure if he's going to, of course he'll probably get playing time this year, but he's got some pretty good tape too. He's got to transfer over to the NFL. But I mean, what a way to get two positions that you struggled at last year, and at the cornerback position, throw one of them out there and see what you get.
He reminds me of the guy we got from Georgia, Tyreek Smith from last year. He's
Tyke
not
Smith,
yeah. I never do names good, man.
it's black names.
But his size concerns me because he's only 5'10" and 190 pounds. So can he make those hits coming across the center without breaking himself in half? He's got great technique, good fluidity, and he's got the speed.
The Emeka Ibuka, how much of a game changing pick that's going to be with what you already have at wide receiver, with Mike Evans, assuming that Chris Godwin will come back, in time. How is his progress going into camp and to the season?
He's been doing really good. Him and Baker are on the same page. He is. I gotta tell you, I went crazy because he is the first Buckeye that they've drafted since 1997. Will
Wow.
Allen was the last Buckeye they drafted.
Just
So I woke back up out of her sleep and said, "We got him. We took him," because I really wanted Sawyer or JT, but I'll take Emeka. Can't have too many wide receivers, especially when Godwin just had his surgery again, and that ankle did not look good, and he's had problems because he's always comfortable in the slot, so they get beat up.
Yeah, Larry, I'm gonna give my 2 cents on the draft here. I do like I said, Benjamin Morrison would have been a first round pick this year if he had to have the hip issues at Notre Dame. And Emeka Ibuka, I like that pick as well. I think they got him at 19. They double dipped that receiver. They got Emeka Ibuka and then they got Taz Johnson at 235. I think
dark horse pick right there.
Yeah, but I think everybody ragged on Taz Johnson because I think he's 5'10", 185, and
150.
150, yeah, 150. I'm sorry, and he ran like a 4.55, and I was like, what is going on? But if you look at Taz, he plays faster than 4.55. From what I've seen with him back in his Oregon days. But I will say about the Emeka Ibuka pick is I think they're in a phase where, and Jay, help me out here. They know Mike Evans can't play forever. He's probably on the back end. He probably got maybe 2 years left.
Oh yeah, he's up there.
Yeah,
I think he's 34.
Yeah, so I think this was a smart pick to get you a receiver while you can. Emeka Ibuka, he was everybody know Jeremiah Smith was number 1 at Ohio State last year, and I can't wait for him to come out. And you already know I can't wait for him to come out. They play with his cousin, but that was the other day. Jeremiah Smith was number 1, and Emeka Ibuka, he was their number 2. And Emeka Ibuka, he has the potential to be a high 2, low number 1 guy in the league. But if you, like I said, you're planning for the future as well with this pick. Mike Evans is not going to be there, so you can have Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan, Taz Johnson, and Chris Godwin too. He's been in the league for a while. 2 ankle surgeries. He's turned down Tampa Bay. I mean, he's turned down money from New England this past offseason.
Yeah.
I think they offered him $20 more million a year, maybe a little less than that, than what Tampa Bay had offered on the table. So that goes to show you how bad he wanted to stay in Tampa.
Yeah.
So
who'd want to go play in the Colt, man?
Who wants to go play in the Colt? Absolutely right. But yeah, I think this Emeka pick was an eye to the future and an eye to the present right now, because I'm gonna tell you right now, having Mike Evans Dalen McMillan, Emeka Buka, and Chris Godwin as your four, if you want to trot out there. That's not a bad four to trot out there on any down, and it's like pick your poison, especially with the two veterans that's been in the league that know how to get open, at any down on the field. So yeah, I definitely do like the Mecca pick and the Taz Johnson pick.
And then you got a Trey Palmer there, just in case one of those guys go out, he waking up pissed off,
Absolutely.
So, yeah, Baker waking up feeling dangerous, and Trey waking up pissed off. So,
I
but
see
that
Tez more as a gadget player though, kind of like let's see, Austin and Bailey from West Virginia. Remember them?
Remember them days? Tavon Austin, Stedman Bailey.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I see Tez Johnson as that kind of type of player. This is going to get off track, but you know who his or the family he lived with while he was in college at Oregon?
Yeah, Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
Yeah. I thought that story was pretty sweet.
It was awesome, yes. And
go ahead, Jay.
I was going to say Mike Evans is 31, and Godwin will be 30 in the season.
Yeah, so
yeah.
Yeah, they going in the right direction with that receiving group. So I mean, Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, and then all those receivers that you listed, plus K. Iden going into a contract year. Do you think he gets re-signed?
Absolutely.
No, they already had. I'm gonna mess up his name. Let me see. Gizzard, though the new OC last year, he was the play caller on all third downs. He said the tight end will be a critical part of his offense. So that's telling you either they're gonna pay attention to who gets cut in training camp, and Cade Otton will be an option, a huge option in that offense.
This offensive line was one of the best last season, with Tristan Wirfs already dominating on the right side, and he moved to the left side. And then Ben Bredesen, Graham Barton played well at center, Cody Mark, and then Luke Gadek. Is it Gadek?
Gudecki.
Gudecki?
Yeah.
That offensive line played pretty well. So no issues there. Also picked up. Well, you got Charlie Heck. There, it's like a swing tackle. On the other side of the trenches, Logan Hall, Vita Vea, Kalijah Kancey, Yaya Diaby. Do you think this front can produce a lot more than what they did last year?
Oh yeah, definitely can. I really like the fact they brought in Anthony Walker Jr. because middle linebacker was a huge concern. Not Kenny Britt. God, this is where my mind is. But Britt, our middle linebacker from last year, is no longer on the team. He was a liability in passing downs, huge, and so they could throw across the center as long as David was somewhere else doing something. So having his experience there, and if Walker develops, I think they'll be fine.
On that back end, Zion McCullum, Jamel Dean still there. Tyke Smith with the two rookies that you drafted, and then on the Antoine Winfield Jr. who's coming back. Did he get injured last year?
Yeah, I want to see 2023 Antoine Winfield, but yeah, he was injured. I think 6 games, but he definitely was not playing up to his normal level.
And then a Christian Izian. That's his name, ain't it?
Izian, yeah, he's small. He's 5'9". He played a lot of nickel last year. He had some key interceptions and fumbles, but I mean, he's a Rutgers player, and I hate Greg Schiano. So,
his head coach Greg Schiano. Ouch. Take it back to them days. Woo.
Oh God. You really should check out Darrell and I's interview with LeGarrette Blount because we were really going to town on hating Greg Schiano.
Let's go schedule.
Oh.
As soon as I get it pulled up here.
First 4 games are going to be a nightmare.
First 4 games are going to be a nightmare.
And I only say that because we don't have Tristan Wirfs.
So Atlanta week 1, and then at the Texans in week 2 on a Monday night.
And that defense scares me.
Yeah.
So.
Week 3, you're at home against the Jets, followed by the Eagles. Yikes. And week 5, you head to Seattle. Week 6, you're back at home against San Francisco. Week 7, at the Lions. Week 8, at the Saints. Then you hit the bye week.
After the bye week, besides the Bills, I think we're just cruise control.
At home against the Patriots. At Buffalo, which I believe was it last year where y'all had a game against them. It was Thursday night, or it was a year before where y'all had a Thursday night game.
Before, yeah.
That was a pretty close game. And then you're at the Rams on a Sunday night. Then you go on the road. Well, no, you're not. You're not on the road. You're at home against the Cardinals, the Saints. Then you got a Thursday night game against Atlanta, at Carolina, at Miami, before finishing up at home against Carolina.
Wow, that is a stretch. You got 1, 2, 3 home games in a row, and then you go to Carolina up the street, go down to Miami, and then you come back home. So you're on the East Coast the last 2 months of the year, pretty much.
Yeah, and you figure Miami is like a 2-hour drive, if that.
Exactly.
So those first 3 games, in which Atlanta could go either way because division rival, then the Texans could go either way, and the Jets. I think y'all can eat that one. I'm not sleeping on their defense. I think their defense could probably, keep them in the game. So that's a toss up as well. But then you get to the Eagles. Sam Darnold. I don't know. Sam might lose that one on his MVP campaigns.
Wait, see, that's why I'm about to get off here because I already know how I feel about Sam Darnold anyway. That's a win for y'all, Jay. Keep pushing.
Oh, with Seahawks?
Yes,
I'm excited for that game because they came into existence the same year we did, so that's their 50th anniversary as well.
Good God, bro.
But other than the games that you listed, like what other game concerns you, or how do you see you guys looking as far as this schedule?
The Lions one scares me. Even though I know they lost both of their coordinators, I still think they'll be fine. But and the Lions and the Eagles, we beat them last year, so I don't. Should I think anything different? No, but I do because I think the Lions are going to come in healthier than they've been in a long time. And
they already lost.
Levi was a rookie.
Yeah, they already lost one of them. So, who knows? Let's just keep
say that last name one more time.
On Wazariki.
How the hell you guys do that? I seen that. I was Owazowski or some shit.
Yeah.
I made him Polish.
I had to ask him how does they pronounce that. He's usually the guy for that. So.
Yeah, he'll start saying a name and I'll be like, yeah, Levi was a rookie. Yeah, I got you. Don't
worry. But yeah, I really see us going possibly, Lord, please, 10-5. Winning the South, just because I want to say I told you so to James.
You mean 12-5? What you think, Amon?
I'm still stuck. I think 10 wins will be our.
So 10-7.
10-7.
Yep.
I think the Buccaneers they'll be fine. They got a couple good tests, Buffalo, Philly. No, well, Buffalo's preseason. Hold on, let me in the regular season. San Francisco, Buffalo, LA. I think people, LA still gonna be right there. Stafford didn't go anywhere. As I got Rob, he said the Cardinals got better, so that's TBD. But he made a good case for them. And as we stated, go ahead, Larry.
Well, I was just gonna chime in and say Rob got them in Super Bowl, going to the
Yeah,
Super
he
Bowl.
got them got the Cardinals going to Super Bowl. That's yeah, that's crazy. But
Shout out Rob Johnson.
Oh,
but
okay. I was like, Rob who? And so I knew.
but as I stated before, I think the South is going to be. I think it's going to be a little tighter this year than normal. And as I stated on our previous show, I really do think it's going to come down to the Buccaneers and Panthers for the division, all because um, Dave Canales and Bryce Young getting better. This is year 3 for him. He has more weapons at his disposal. He has to improve, like you said. After you said, Jay, under our Buccaneers episode, this is a make or break year for Bryce Young. So if it makes a good year for him, I can definitely see them winning the division for sure. But if not the Panthers, I definitely see the Buccaneers being there because they've done it the last 4 or 5 seasons. I think people say, quote unquote, this is the weakest division in football. You can argue that,
5 years ago was the strongest.
right? You can make an argue that depends on how you look at the AFC South. You can make a
Right.
case for them. But I still believe you guys are going to be right there in the thick of the wild card. Definitely a division spot. Y'all gonna be fighting for a division, but ultimately, I see them winning. Like you said, maybe he says 10 games. I say 9, 10 games. I wouldn't be upset. If you guys are winning 9 and 10 games, that means something happened in Carolina that went wrong. And Atlanta probably, and we all know the state of New Orleans, they're just not there yet, roster wise to compete with Tampa and Atlanta and Carolina. I think Carolina's a little. If I had to rank the teams in the division right now, just not me being biased, I'll say Tampa 1, of course, Atlanta 2, Carolina, and then New Orleans last. But I personally believe that Carolina does make a jump because I'm a big believer in Bryce Young, even though he's 5'9", 5'10", can't seal with the offensive line. But I think it's going to be you two guys at the end that's fighting for that division crown. And I'm gonna give the edge to Tampa Bay just of the consistency with Mike Evans and Todd Bowles, Jason Light, that's been there and done that and know how to get to the playoffs and make some noise as well.
This one makes me think that they can just blow away with it instead of staying around with like you said, Carolina at the end of the season fighting for the division. I think that this could be a team that could just kind of like blow it out the water.
Sure.
And
maybe
sorry.
10, maybe 10, 11, 12 games you win. Because if you look at Atlanta, like you got Penix, but we saw flashes. How is he going to look going into the next season? And then Saints, look at them. Carolina, yeah, they're growing, but like, how are they really going to look? So that's just my opinion on how I see things too. I think that they can blow this thing out the water.
Yeah, go ahead, Jay.
With, like you said, Dave Canales, and you look the build and the type of plays that Bryce Young can make, it's very and eerie similar to the way Baker Mayfield was. He can make those off balance throws, run the screens great. So I really see it possibly, and it hurts me because I hate the Panthers with every bean, but they could definitely win 8 or 9 games easily.
Sure. And some divisions, some years, I think it may have been the South, where 8 and 9, was it 9 games, won a division for you? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I mean, it's not out the realm of possibility. But yeah, go ahead, Larry.
Jay, I got a question for my mother-in-law. She loves Colorado and the Sanders family. So
I hope he makes the team.
do you think that he makes the team?
I do, because I think, and that's one thing that gets me. This comparison thing, let the people be themselves. Stop comparing them to like their dad, their aunt, their uncle, whatever. Let them make their own legacy. And I think Sanders has the instinct, even though he went to college for 6 years, to be a productive safety. I think he is a in the box safety with his build. He's not, fast like his daddy, but I really, really would like to see him make the team because I see him as another Kayvon Merriweather. Do you know
Mhm.
that's a safety from Iowa that made the team?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I really like. I think he could make some things happen on special teams, and then if Winfield gets hurt again, because with Smith moving back to safety, I don't like that. I like his range, but I don't like his durability.
Amon, what you think about that? About Shiloh making the roster? Do you think it's possible?
Absolutely, it's possible. It's a good chance that he do make the roster. If not, if he don't make the roster, he knows he's going to be on practice squad bare minimum. Bare minimum practice squad. Um, I think that the spotlight was on Shador and Shiloh because of who their dad was and what he all brought to the Colorado program, coming from Jackson State, and Prime said some things that the national media don't like, and they find ways to pick at him, and whether it's through his kids or whatever the case may be. But I think if Chavez goes out there and do what's asked of him by the defensive coordinator and the coaches, he'll be fine. He looks at a couple clips that I've seen. Yes, they're practicing mini camp clips, but he actually looked decent out there. He doesn't look half bad, man. But like I said, man, Jay, and Larry, good as I do, man. Once you get your opportunity in camp, it's your opportunity to seize it and make the best of it. And if you hit the 53, you hit the 53. If not, I think he's a bare minimum practice squad player, special teams role. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get called up just because of an injury to Antoine Whitfield or anything in the secondary that's needed for that team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jim,
Oh God.
you had something? You had something?
No, I was gonna say that's why makes me think of Watson, the small Volkswagen with legs. Um, they got him on the I think the what is it NFI list because they want him to lose a little weight before they put him out on the field too much. But you put him in the trenches, and he's gonna move a small city.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Oh, you talking about the guy from Florida that you got?
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Oh man, that's a big deal, man. Um, we're gonna go more or less here real quick,
yes.
and basically it's just an over under. But I'm taking stats from last year's team and listening. Do you think they're gonna get more or less this year coming up? So starting with Baker Mayfield, he passed for 4,500 yards and 41 touchdowns. I know the 41 touchdowns won't be a stretch, but as far as 4,500 yards, do you think he will go more or less than that this year?
I think less because they're gonna work more on the shorter intermediate routes from what the new OC said. So I see him making 4,000, but not more than 45.
Mr.
Yeah,
Washington?
I'm gonna say less as well. Um, Only because the loss of Liam Cohen, and the way that shook down. Whether he's, I don't know if it was and Jay, you can, talk about this. Was it a was it a foregone conclusion that he was gone to Jacksonville, or was it something? Hey, I'm coming back. You got my word. I'm coming back. But then, oh, I get cold feet, and then go ghost on the Buccaneers. And then, hey, if you fire the GM of the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'll come over and be the head coach.
I'm trying to think
I know
how
you
my
were
kids.
I know you had to be pissed about how that whole situation went down because
Oh,
me being me being a Raiders fan and me watching Liam Cohen run the Buccaneers offense last year, we were looking for a head coach, and he was like maybe 1A or 1B on my higher list, but between him and Todd Monken at the Ravens OC. I wanted Liam if we didn't get him, but ultimately we settled with Pete Carroll. I really like his offense, and I was like, well, dang, he's staying in Tampa. So, and I thought the John Spatek connection, him being down there in Tampa, would like bring him to Vegas, but ultimately he ended up staying. And I was like, well, he's staying in Tampa, and then you hear that he go cold turkey on the Bucs organization overnight. Don't say nothing to him, not picking up no calls. And then he's on the phone with Shad Khan saying, hey, if you get I can't think of the GM name of the Panthers at the time. He was in San Francisco. Trent Baalke out the building, then I'll come. And ultimately Shad Khan ended up finding Trent Baalke and Duval.
He okie doke
Sunday, so.
or as my kids would say, he gaslit us really hard. And then was like, I'm sorry, but won't be there. And I was hot.
Yeah, that had to be a tough. So, Larry, to answer your question, I'm gonna say I know we went on a little tangent there. I'm gonna say a little less because is a new guy in charge calling plays. So I'm gonna say a little less in yards and a little less in touchdowns. So I expect Baker to be in the 30 to 20, 25 to 32 touchdown range. That wouldn't be a bad trade off.
Yeah, that seems realistic. I'm gonna go with less as well. Bucky Irvin, 1,122 yards and 8 touchdowns. In terms of yards and touchdowns, does he go more or less?
I'm gonna say. I want to say more to be 100% because I really think they found a guy they can lean on. But the league knows who he is, so they'll know to put 8 in the box.
Yeah, but if you put 8 in the box on him, then you got Mike Evans and Mecca. Yeah, you got problems on the outside you got to deal with. So pick your poison.
But we got to prove it. That's the thing.
1,000%.
So I'm going to go less.
Jalen McMillan, 37 catches, 461 yards, and 8 touchdowns. In terms of yards this time, does he go more or less?
Oh, snap. Less. Because I know he'll more than likely be the third option, but as he pointed out, new offensive coordinator, so they'll use different weapons, and he won't be. Him and Mbuka are coming into training camp learning the same book at the same time. So whoever picks up quicker, and I know Mbuka, where this like high school he went to, he was a bookworm and watched tape as much as we do. So he wants to understand what position, very much like Terry McLaurin with the Commanders. He likes to know the way the defender plays and how they push off, how they defend, and where he can fit a ball in. So he's very technical.
Yeah, what you think, man?
Okay, I'm gonna say it's gonna probably be less as well. Because Jalen McMillan, he had a great season as a rookie last year. I don't think even Jay expected to get that production out of him last year. And year in the league, you add, like I said, more pictures of knowledge. You add Nabuka, Taz to the room, Trey Palmer, Bucky Irvin, Rashad White, and the new OC coming in. They're going to be K. We can't forget about K. Oden. He could be the breakout player on this offense as well this year. Who knows? I think it's going to be less because it could be. I think it's going to be more of a. We're going to spread the ball around evenly between everybody, and that numbers probably sacrificed because of that. You good, Larry? A little bit. You breaking up again.
That's what happens when you live out in the middle of nowhere, bro.
They live in the sticks. But anyway, Jay, I know what he gonna pick. We're gonna pick up. We're gonna go on the defensive side of the ball. We're gonna do more or less. How many sacks do you think Kalijah Kinsey gonna have this year? You think he could be around where he was last year, or he's gonna be?
I'll give him 10.5 to 11 because his pressures were off the chain compared to his rookie year. and I really think he's going to finish more than what he did because he had a lot of pressures. But I definitely see him becoming
Taking
kind
that.
of like I'm trying to think of a defensive end that would be like, I don't want to say Simeon Rice because they ran a 4-3, but uh, JPP, I guess. But he
Yeah,
was an outside linebacker.
gotcha. All right, and we're gonna go Vita Vea, more or less in sacks as well. I think he had how many? I think they said he had 7.5, 8 last year.
Yeah. I'm going to say more. He's
Okay,
going to stick right around there where he was last year
all right,
because, he made his presence felt, and I believe he'll build on that and keep it up.
gotcha. I know Larry has his players to watch. They'll come up on the screen here shortly. He's probably resetting stuff. But a couple players to watch from me is probably Kalijah Kinsey. Um, what's my guy name? Hassan Reddick, and see how Antoine Winfield bounces back. So those are my three players to watch this year. Larry, do you have any players to watch that you want to put up on the board for Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Players to watch this year.
A little better. You're a little better.
Uh, did you ever get to the fifth person on the more or less?
I just got to the fourth. You can go. You do your fifth person. Go ahead.
Real quick, Jay, I wanted to ask you about Zion McCollum. He had 2 interceptions last year. Does he get more or less?
Who is it?
Zion McCollum.
There you go.
Oh, he's got to have more. If he want to get paid, he's going to have more. They need more interceptions. If Morris plays the way I think he's going to play, Jamel Dean will not be a Buccaneer after, I would say, the third game. He'll be traded. Hopefully, he'll get traded the way we traded Carlton Davis, because we're paying him a lot and he's doing a little. So
Okay. Um, I think he's gonna get over 2 as well. This could be a good year for him. He's got to get paid, like you said. My players to watch, real simple. It's Bucky Irvin and Zion McCollum. Zion McCollum going to a contract year, and then Irvin going to his second year. Let's see if he can continue the tradition of running that he's on. And then my rookies to watch, it's going to be Emeka Ibuka, Jacob Parrish, and Benjamin Morris. Got to fix that back end job, and let's see what those two guys do. Um, assuming that they'll play well this year. Um, Jay, you got anything else?
I'm excited for football to be back because I'm tired of I found myself watching beach volleyball this weekend.
Yeah, that's how you know you're too far deep in when you watch volleyball in the summertime. Yeah.
I was like, oh no. But that flag, have you guys seen that flag football stuff they got?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
see a little bit of it. This one kid made a catch the other day here on Saturday.
I showed the wife that was, I mean,
No, you put it up there with Odell catch. Like, who's better? I wouldn't be mad at if you picked either one. You know,
right.
So
It was gorgeous.
yes.
And the way he came down with it, that was sick. Jay, when is the next J and J podcast?
I gotta figure it out with James. More than likely, it'll be next week. Because not everybody's like me and disabled, and cook supper for his wife every day, and that's it.
Well, we got James Brown tomorrow. We govern the Atlanta Falcons, so we'll see how that goes.
Make sure you have Kirk Cousins getting traded to some crap team, please.
We'll have him going to what's the crap team?
Cleveland.
Cleveland. Well, they got yeah. We'll we'll see. We'll see
Nah,
how it goes.
send them to New Orleans, boy. Oof.
Oh God, why you got to put that out there like that?
Well,
You
hey,
said-
I mean, they need it.
That's in conference. They won't do that.
Yeah.
Okay, out of conference. Out of conference, out of division. Let's send them.
Hey, look, the Lions traded T.J. Hawkinson to the Vikings. So I mean, it's not to say it can't happen.
Yeah.
True, but
send them to the CFL there for all that.
Come on, man, you can't do my guy Kurt like that,
Man, we're gonna say that for the Falcons.
Toronto Argonauts.
There you go.
If that's it from you guys, we are out of here. Jay, thank you once again for coming on.
I
really appreciate that.
It was great.
And
I love talking football, so thank you for having me.
All right, man. Appreciate you so much. Thank you guys. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And until then.